Good afternoon or good evening, depending on where you are, and welcome to another live stream from the Angry Astronaut as we slowly get accustomed to the way things are done. The reason I am on early is because Roscosmos has decided to get impatient. They may have a launch window that is opened up for them, and they are just going for it. So the launch will be taking place very shortly. Just to give you a quick review, this is an ESA launch, not a Roscosmos launch, even though Roscosmos obviously is providing both the launch pad and the equipment, that sort of thing. They are not. They are not the ones directly responsible for this. It is the ESA launching OneWeb satellites in direct competition to Starlink. And yeah, coming up very, very soon. Hello, everybody. Yes, there is echo in the room. I still need yet more audio in order to make this work properly. That is my next project. I need an audio that's going to be compatible with this webcam and have it connect. So all I can say is please bear with me and we will make this work. If I were to set one of my existing mics up to it, then people would not be able to talk back to me. And this would be the people who are guiding me across the Atlantic. And that's something that I can't make happen. So I really do appreciate it. I am on some powerful antibiotics right now. It's causing me some discomfort. So for all I know, I may have to disappear for a little bit during this whole thing. I apologize for that, but that's the way life works. You get sick, you take antibiotics, and you hope for the best. So anyway, and we have 147 people watching currently. I do appreciate that. You guys are very, very kind to tune into this. Obviously, you have other choices to where you could be listening to professionals talking about this as opposed to me. But what they probably wouldn't talk about is the space junk crisis. Not to say that OneWeb and Starlink are direct contributors to this, but they are indirect contributors. The more satellites you put into orbit, the greater the chance that an uncontrolled piece of space debris that we can't track is going to hit one of these satellites, incapacitate it, and therefore turn it into a dangerous piece of space debris. And my throat is probably going to get dry a number of times as this broadcast continues, but that's just the way it goes. My real name is Jordan, and I am in South Carolina currently. So that's, and I actually did a video called Who is the Angry Astronaut? If you're interested in checking that out, just kind of covers a little bit more about me, my personal history, that sort of thing. And I may do something else in the future. And as I say, I have plans to improve the audio as time goes by. So we'll see how things develop. And if I sound a little soft compared to the way I usually am in terms of the volume of my voice, it's because I have an aching tooth back in here. The incompetent surgeon that did a tooth extraction years ago left a chip of a tooth in there. And rather than spend the money and the pain to get it extracted, it just gets infected once every couple of years. And I have to take antibiotics and it kills it. And it's out of sight, out of mind for a couple of years. Okay, enough about me, but that's what's going on with me right now. Okay, what do we got here? Roscosmos' stream. They have cameras running on the rocket the entire way. Interesting. Well, then that is that's something that we may want to consider. May want to consider switching to the Roscosmos stream instead of Arianespace, depending on how it all works out. I doubt that we have enough time since we have 20 seconds left until the event, but maybe. Do I think the GAO will uphold the decision for the HLS? Who knows? The pressure in Congress is strong to force NASA to take a second alternative. My concern is that that second alternative is going to be Blue Origin, which is as good as no alternative at all. So that would be beyond stupid. And at this point, given the problems with Vulcan Centaur and all the other issues Blue Origin has had, NASA should know better by now, but who knows? Just who knows? Well, Alan, thank you so much. And hello, Britain. Any British viewers, thank you so much for joining in. It is, well, let's see, approximately 6:30 your time. We are indeed on the Roscosmos stream now. So yeah, apparently we're not on Arianespace. So it's, here we go. The live event is beginning. Here we go. Please like, please subscribe, and if you are so inclined, please support this channel. There are many ways to do that, through Super Chats, through Patreon, through PayPal. It's all in the description. There's a lot of different ways to support this channel if you so desire. Satellite internet has really turned successful. I haven't heard someone that Bill Gates has been researching this for some years, turned successful basically. You know, satellite internet I think is a great idea. The problem is the millions of pieces of space junk up there that we can't track. We don't know how many pieces there are, where they are. We can't track them effectively, and they could represent a tremendous threat to these satellites. So, and you know, so much as one of them gets hit, gets turned into a dead satellite, gets turned into a cloud of debris, and it creates what's called the Kessler syndrome, the Kessler effect. It is reportedly already happening with smaller pieces of space debris hitting other smaller pieces of space debris, and small clouds that we don't really recognize as being such. Already chain reactions starting to happen. So we'll see. We shall certainly see. Boy, quite a lot of people watching from Britain. Thank you so much for doing so. 3 spaceports opening up in Britain very soon. Very excited about that. It appears we have rain here at the moment. I hope this does not mess up my internet connection. Here in South Carolina, there is a tendency that if it rains, internet has problems, but I certainly hope that that does not indeed the case. OneWeb versus Starlink, neither of them are revealing information about what the ping rate is. OneWeb obviously has fewer satellites, but they're coming out with a new technology that allows them to beam their information between satellites as need becomes more intense. So if there are other satellites that are very inactive, dead of night, say, you know, not a lot going on, then they can offer their bandwidth to satellites that are getting overloaded. So there is a variety of technology on both sides, and both would argue that they have the better solution. I guess, you know, my answer to that is, what are we doing? What are we doing? Very close to launch, by the way, guys. It is coming very soon. Yeah. Well, pillows, the description is just big, covering Starlink shields and satellites against space junk is a very good idea, but we don't have it right now. Future satellites maybe, but not existing ones. And the existing ones alone are a big problem.
Прошел контакт подъема. Двигатели центрального и боковых блоков вышли на режим главной ступени.
No, I do not speak.
10 секунд. Параметры системы управления ракетой.
Sadly, I can go to a parking meter in
20 секунд.
Swansea
Двигатели первой и второй
or
ступени работают нормально.
read it and get the impression of how much I'm supposed to put into the thing, that sort of thing. Just figure it out. But no, Celtic language is something I'm going to have to master as time goes on, because obviously it's a very important thing. So we are getting close. We are getting close indeed.
50 секунд. Давление в камерах сгорания двигателей ракеты-носителя в норме.
Russia trying to be reusable, they're copying SpaceX, which is fine. I mean, as long as it works, that's all that matters. As far as creating a satellite connection to the Moon, Mars, and allow rovers to last longer, consume less power. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think that orbiting stations around the Moon and around Mars, real live, real-time control of rovers is always a good idea. I really think that is the best solution, in my opinion.
100 секунд. Параметры конструкции ракеты-носителя.
Bear with me. I'm just making sure that I have things lined up properly here.
Рыскание, вращение в норме.
The launch has occurred.
Есть выключение двигателей боковых блоков. Есть отделение боковых блоков.
Here we go, guys. Sorry, that's the nature of delays.
130 секунд. Стабилизация изделия устойчивая. 140 секунд. Двигатель второй ступени работает нормально. 150 секунд. Параметры конструкции ракеты-носителя в норме. 160 секунд. Параметры системы управления ракеты-носителя в норме. 170 секунд. Полет нормальный. 180 секунд. Двигатель второй ступени работает нормально.
Everything looking optimal. We are 3 minutes post-launch at this point.
190 секунд. Параметры конструкции ракеты-носителя в норме. 200 секунд. Полет нормальный. Время КП 20 часов 38 минут 39 секунд 549 миллисекунд.
One of the reasons I'm moving to Britain, by the way, guys.
210 секунд. Стабилизация изделия устойчивая. Есть сброс створок головного обтекателя.
No, I'm not. I've been there 8 times. Love the country.
230 секунд. Параметры конструкции ракеты-носителя в норме. 240 секунд. Тангаж, рыскание, вращение в норме. 250 секунд. Двигатель второй ступени работает нормально. 260 секунд. Стабилизация изделия устойчивая. 270 секунд. Параметры системы управления ракеты-носителя в норме.
'Thank you, Risbergo. Sorry about that. That was beyond amateurish.
Есть запуск двигателя третьей ступени. Есть выключение двигателя второй ступени. Есть отделение второй ступени. Есть сброс панели хвостового отсека. «310 секунд. Стабилизация
There
изделия
is only
устойчива.
so much they can do about solar flares, especially the really powerful solar storms. They can cause very significant
320 секунд.
disruptions.
Двигатель третьей ступени работает нормально. 330 секунд. Параметры конструкции ракеты-носителя в норме. 340 секунд.
And there is no
Параметры системы
landing. This
управления
is an
ракеты-носителя в
expendable
норме.
launcher, just a very inexpensive one.
350 секунд. Полет нормальный.
Gaming Nerd is heading to LEO.
360 секунд. Тангаж, рысканье, вращение в норме.
Very similar to Starlink.
370 секунд. Параметры конструкции ракеты-носителя и разгонного блока в норме. 380 секунд. Двигатель третьей ступени работает нормально. 390 секунд. Параметры системы управления ракеты-носителя в норме. 400 секунд. Стабилизация изделия устойчивая. 410 секунд. Полет нормальный. 'Прошло включение второй ступени наддува бака в третьей ступени. 430 секунд. Двигатель третьей ступени работает нормально. 440 секунд. Тангаж, рысканье, вращение в норме. 450 секунд. Полет нормальный. 460
Space
секунд.
shuttle
Параметры конструкции
could have
ракеты-носителя и
avoided being
разгонного блока в
canceled
норме.
for a lot longer if it hadn't had those two disasters, and I'm making a video in
470 секунд.
regards to that.
Двигатель третьей ступени работает нормально. 480 секунд. Параметры системы управления ракеты-носителя в норме. 490 секунд. Стабилизация изделия устойчивая. 500 секунд. Полет нормальный. 510 секунд. Тангаж, рысканье, вращение в норме. 520 секунд. Параметры конструкции ракеты-носителя и разгонного блока в норме. 530
Yeah, the space shuttle,
Двигатель
the
третьей ступени
retirement is
работает нормально.
definitely something that should have happened. I just don't think it would have happened as quickly as it did.
540 секунд. Параметры системы управления ракеты-носителя в норме. 550 секунд. Полет нормальный. 'Есть выключение двигателя третьей ступени. Есть отделение головного блока. Головной блок в составе разгонного блока фрегат номер 123-10 и космических аппаратов OneWeb миссия 47 выведен на опорную орбиту.
Everything looking beautiful. Max Q should have already been achieved. Sorry, guys. Like I said, due to technical issues, I did not actually have the live launch in front of me. Things got frozen up at my end as opposed to the live stream, which was not. And so that's why we had the overlap. Can we go ahead and remove my image? Payload has been deployed. I mean, look how fast that was. I think people want to have a look at her. Sorry, the way we have things reconfigured, I can't see the chats very well. In spite of the rather amateurish nature of this, but you know what? It's technical and things get messed up sometimes. There's not much you can do about it. All I can say is if you are so inclined, please like, please subscribe. All of this happened very swiftly. My God, it just was like over with in a flash. Roscosmos clearly is of the mindset of let's go ahead and light the candle and go. And there were people probably watching the Arianespace stream who just completely taken care of. But it appears that everything was deployed properly. Everything happened very swiftly. It's one of the reasons why during the Starlink launch, I was completely mystified by what happened, or the amount of time it was taken, even though it wasn't, something that wasn't very typical, or rather something that is typical with Starlink launches. I just found it a little odd because the payload deployment of these sorts of satellites usually happen so fast simply because they're not going very far up at all. But anyway, that's the nature of it. I'm just getting started on this, and there's going to be hiccups. Yeah, this is the third or fourth or however many of them that I've done, but there's always going to be issues, and we're going to have a long and in-depth discussion about what happened, why this occurred. From what I could see on the screen that I used to keep track of the launch, all of a sudden everything was just stopped, and I was trying to get it unstopped, and the rocket just went and launched. At least you guys got to see it. That's all I can say. At least you guys got to see it, and I'm going to have to watch it recorded. But the one thing I want to go ahead and emphasize, because I had in mind to talk about this anyway, this whole launch, the two launches back to back of Starlink and OneWeb, represent the exciting stuff that's happening in terms of satellite internet and all of the exciting things happening with the competition associated with that. I like both of these companies. I think they're both very exciting, and I think that there's some huge opportunities on both sides. What bothers me is the huge numbers of satellites that are going up, and there are others going up as well, like Kuiper, etc. All of these are going to continue to compound the problem of a space junk disaster and the Kessler syndrome. This has to be examined. We really need to clean up space before we just go headlong into launching hundreds and hundreds of these. I know that may be bad news for SpaceX, but we really need to start taking this seriously. If we don't, every Starlink satellite could be wiped out. SpaceX could be completely incapable of launching Starship, Falcon 9, Falcon Heavy ever again. It would crash their entire company and every other rocket company on the planet. The consequences are a million times worse than the potential benefits. Something has to be done about this problem, and it has to be done now. The Europeans are addressing it, and they're putting money into it, but not enough, and it needs to be an effort made by the entire world, all of the United Nations. It's absolutely vital. Now, I've got a video coming out hopefully today, maybe tomorrow, depending on my current state. And we need to absolutely get on top of this situation as rapidly as we possibly can. So let's go after it, guys. And it's, write your congressman, write your MP, write whatever government official that you happen to have a relationship with, and ask them to please put this into a state of urgency. It is absolutely vital that we make that. Otherwise, we are doomed. I'll tell you, it's not just a probability. It's not just a possibility. It is a statistical certainty that there will be a disaster eventually. Currently, I don't even know how many people are currently watching. I can't even see it. What can I say? Having my own share of issues, I don't really care. Whoever's listening to the sound, 209 people listening to the sound of my voice right now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, please subscribe, support me in any way you possibly can, although I know this was really substandard and certainly not worthy of your support. But if you're in the mood, please support me if possible, or just like and subscribe, and I would be thrilled with that, because this is a very important mission, regardless of how poorly I may have actually done it. So let's go ahead and get space cleaned up and get ready for my video and stay angry about space.